Hello again, guys. Happy Monday. Yeah, I almost said Tuesday for some goofy reason because I had something in my head for Tuesday. All right, happy Monday. I know it's been a while, but like any good growth phase, you got to take uh, some time off to focus on some things. And so, as you notice, new studio and all that kind of jazz. And I'm going to do some screen sharing with you guys today. I'm excited to share with you some things the truth that you haven't seen out there, and I haven't seen it, so that's why I keep getting, biblically bugged to be like, man, I got to show you guys the daggum truth on this thing. All right, so I'm going to talk to you today about the roadmap and roadmap to your 100% permanent total and life-changing money. So I don't know if this is going to be a short brief or a long brief, but it's going to be a brief, and I'm going to do some screen sharing with you so you can see at least 4 slides that I want to show you, and we'll take it from there. Good deal. All right. Let me see if I can do that. It's been a while, guys. Screen share. There it is. There we go. So now I'm little bitty and you guys see what I want you to see. All right. So hopefully you guys know and remember, but I brief off of like multiple screens. So I'm going to look at you from time to time, but I'm going to look over here and do some other stuff. All right, guys. Again, I've been doing this. God's blessed me to do this for almost a decade now, and I've helped deliver over $10 billion to the deadliest humans on earth. Okay. So, when I go to soft events, I get hugs from giant killers and stuff, and I'm a little dude and an older guy, and that's saying something, I'm telling you. And every time I get hugs from them, they say, Albert, you're the only one who's helping us. You're the only one telling us the truth at this high level. God bless you. Keep going. God bless you. I love that. All right, guys, let's move on. So your roadmap to 100% permanent total. So this is what's been successful over the past almost decade of me doing this. And I'm a for-profit, and I only answer to God. I don't answer to little G gremlins out there and all that kind of stuff. So if you got negativity, you can take it on down the road. I don't even listen to it. All right. So your roadmap. All right. Skeletal system. Let's talk about 2 major key words here. So there's what you have. Everybody out there, VSOs, Legions, DAV, blah, 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 all the, free stuff and even the paid for stuff. Those folks are going to ask you the word, what you have, what you have. Geez, what do you currently have records for? Stuff like that. Well, guys, guess what? I work with a lot of special operators, and they've been a lot of places and stuff like that. So they don't have like public records and stuff like that. So, and actually, by the way, that doesn't even matter. The key point back to that is it doesn't even matter, because I'm going to tell you some stuff. So you guys feel like you're getting put into this cannon and about to be shot off towards the VA wall, and you don't know. You have no idea. Every time I brief one of you guys or people around me or you, and I ask, what are you aiming for? You have no idea. Don't we all go into service knowing what we're doing? We have a plan. We have like, hey, I want to be in the Corps, or I want to be in the Navy, or I want to fly, or I want to be on the ground, or I want to retire, or I want to just do my stint or whatever. And hey, I want to be airborne. Hey, I want to go to, Ranger Scroll versus Ranger Regiment versus, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 stuff. So we should all have a plan. We should all individually have a plan and have some awareness. Please do not try to be an expert, because you'll never be an expert. And that's why, as I will continue to say, teamwork makes the dream work. And these lines make sense for a reason, because if it's good enough for Jesus to have a team, it's good enough for us to do that too. That's how you succeed. Okay. So you all qualify for a claim ending in 100% permanent in total. You all qualify for that. I can easily and legally say that. You all qualify for that. I've got freedom of speech rights and God-given rights. I'm going to tell you qualify for this stuff. Okay. Lawyers aren't going to tell you that stuff. VA lawyers, DAV, VA, blah, 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 all these other entities that are out there, because they don't know any better. And I'm not going to call it maybe not their fault, but maybe it is. Who knows? All right. Anyway, What I'm talking about is you. That's what I like to talk about. I don't care about systems and what's going to happen in the entire VA system due to Trump or due to, whoever, Putin. I don't give a shit. What I care about and what Jesus cares about is slowing down and seeing you, that person right now looking in the screen. You're the one who I'm talking to, okay? All right. So it's what you have, you're getting shot out of a cannon, versus what you need. All right. So I thank God for AI images because this was very helpful. So I created this slide not too long ago. I briefed my clients on it. I was a helicopter pilot. What do you do before you fly? You do a walk around with your buddy. Okay. Now this slide is the same, but there's only one change. There's now this new mountaintop up here. What is that? Let me explain something to you guys. I've been at this since before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, before PAC, during PAC, after PAC, and all that kind of stuff. Through multiple presidencies, through multiple blah, 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 leadership, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? Here's something I know. Historically, the VA was pretty smooth and pretty fast. And they would say, I would use a lot of baseball terminology, like just get on base. Yes, you could throw 20 things at the VA and they'd probably give you, low ball you for all of them. And then you could increase, okay? Because there's two types of claims with the VA. There's service connection, which means something brand new. You've never had it on your record before. Secondly is an increase. So I used to use baseball terminology because that's the only way that it made sense. You get on base for your neck or for your back, and then you could get it increased because increase is easier than service connection. However, 2 years ago, around May-ish of 2 years ago, the VA created this brand new mountain range that nobody had seen before. And what they started doing was denying almost everybody for almost everything. So I can't say they denied everybody for everything, but it was real close. There were, my clients included, getting denied for 12 out of 15 things or 10 out of 10 things, and it just didn't make any sense. So we just had to let that summer go by to let the fruit finally show, because we can't do anything, guys, until the VA makes a decision. So once you put it in front of the VA makes a decision. So my clients were putting 10 things in front of the VA or 15 or whatever, and they just, by the end of the summer, we saw what was going on. So that's why my contract, my website talks about starting in September of almost 2 years ago, I started having VA accredited veterans rights attorneys from the very beginning representing my clients. Game changer, ultimate game changer. Now, we started the first few months with just whatever attorneys that we could find out there, my clients included. We're just trying to find the right attorneys, going through organizations, stuff like that, and talking to them directly and seeing what their arsenal was. Hey, what can you do? And we obviously, as people doing things the right way, we want to make sure that things are getting done obviously the right way, but that people can help out as much as possible. And the first few attorneys, they weren't really good doing that much or anything, and it just wasn't really working out that well. And so I got introduced. I went to SAWS, a special operations Air Force event last year, and I was introduced to a couple other attorneys out of Florida who we now use. I can't say the words almost exclusively, but everybody's got free will and they always will. And we all say that. But yeah, these guys are doing great work. I am now represented by one of them. My clients, I would say almost all of them, if not all of them, are now represented by these guys. And they are big idea dudes. They want to take this all the way up to Supreme Court, win it, so all the stupid shit goes away. That's great. And, Christ-like fashion, of course. So anyway, the VA created this mountain. So guys, yes, my clients are the ones who are seeing the increases. My clients are the ones who are getting the yes. And I'll talk about LAPD Steve. So LAPD Steve, he's a Marine. He did one stint in the Corps in the early 70s. He's now heading into mid 70s. He's 74 now. And he worked for the LAPD for over 35 years before getting into Homeland Security for another decade. And he didn't do anything with the VA for over 55 years, something like that. And he became a client of mine last June, signed a contract. We got him going, got him lawyered up, and started the process the right way the right way. And but of course, I'm going to talk about whiplash. So he got kind of put into a canon because he was one of the few guys who started getting lawyered up in this past, I call it the whiplash year. We had these great new attorneys, but we had to just let it work itself out and then assess from there. Okay. So yes, a couple of my clients were put into these canons too, but they finally were put into canons with better lawyers. And lawyer Steve came out the other end. He was 20% when he went into the canon, came out just a few short months ago at 100% permanent in total. And he's still my client. My clients start with me and stay with me for years because I am a guide. I can guide you guys to all things that make you fulfilled, and not just VA stuff, but VA is a massive life changer. So you being 100% permanent in total is the beginning of crazy life-changing money and fulfillment for you and your family. All right. So now after we let the lawyers win, and then we looked around and saw what their fruit was, I was able to figure out probably about 6 months or more ago, back in like October, November, started seeing the fruit fall. And I was like, okay, I see. Okay. Because it's weird, guys. I can brief at the highest level, these attorneys and all that kind of stuff, even though they may be great, they are limited to certain structures. All right. So I can say, as I'm going to get into here shortly, let's do the walk around here so I can talk about what you need. So let's talk about this. Before I get into these math numbers, let me just say that one of our major goals is to, let me bring it down this slide. This one's better. Okay. So one of our major goals, guys, here in the center is to get you, so me, you, your attorney, your family, everybody in your corner, Jesus included, want to get you over 500 human math points. This image here shows over 1,000, just over 1,000. And these are sometimes maximums because the VA goes off of 3 levels. There's mild, moderate, and severe. Okay. It's very important to know. You don't have to know everything. We just have to be aware, guys. You have to be aware. So these numbers depict some averages, but most of you guys qualify for these at the severe level. Again, the VA always is going to have final VA decision approval and stuff like that. Is the VA going to mess with you? Of course they are. Because as a pastor said recently, evil doesn't stop itself. It takes good men, guys, to do the right thing and say no to evil. And that's why I've been doing is studying Proverbs, because I didn't come to faith until later on in life. And I learned about Proverbs when I was 45, and I'm about to be 46 next month, if that's telling you anything. So I've been like getting schooled up on Proverbs. And one thing God says in Proverbs is that he hates unfair scales. So like this whole 50 plus 50 equals 10 bullshit that the VA does, that's unfair. You guys not being paid, the VA waiting for you to die so they steal money from your widow. That's horrible. That's evil. But that's why I'm calling it out. And that's why I'm holding up my little candle every now and then, because you guys know better. That's why I'm holding up that little candle. I'd love to get volcanic and nuclear, but just one of you out there just needs to see that candlelight move forwards. Okay. So here's what I can talk about. And I'm not going to brief every single body part on here, guys. I mean, I can, but my point is I can say things. I can brief higher than the attorneys out there can. And it needs to be verified and validated by your attorney, verified and validated by the VA or by your doctor. You're outside the VA doctor. Yes, your primary care doc should be outside the VA. That's just my guidance. You can listen to me or not. So somebody who listens to me wins. Somebody who doesn't listen to me, well, they get denied back to 1984. So if not further back, because the VA has to play by their own rules, but the VA doesn't have to tell you the rules. So let me go back to Miranda rights. If you get pulled over and you're not the person, but you look like the person that they're looking for, the cops say, hey, bub, sorry, put your hands behind your back. We're looking for somebody that looks like you. So put your hand behind your back. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have a right for an attorney, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's called Mirandize. We all know about that in the U.S. and our territories and so on, all around the world, probably now. But what the VA doesn't have to do is Mirandize you. So you can walk in anywhere and they can just start messing with you, and they can be friendly with you, and they can be mean with you, whatever it is. Like the Bible says, they are not your friend. Okay, know them by their fruit. Don't judge, but know them by their fruit. They are not. They may be friendly or nice because they're getting paid to just mess with you and they don't give a shit about you. I care. And I hate to throw out F-bombs and curse words every now and then, but pardon me, folks, I'm a Mustang and I'm a wild one. And everywhere I go, I have ears to hear people moaning and groaning. I have eyes to see it. And that's why I'm back out here putting this stuff out in front of you guys. Okay. I'm just here to help you not just know better, but I'm helping you do better. Okay. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the answers and how to work with me too. So, okay. I can say things like you qualify for 50% for sinuses. I can say, I don't know why the VA does this, but the VA goes off of certain things with dominant arm. And we can go and do a walk around. Give me a second to get some props out here. We can take a while to do a walk around. We can say, hey, sinuses at 50%. What's that mean? Let's slow down. Let's take it literally one page at a time from the VA playbook. And what's crazy is, guys, there have been playbooks out there forever, just like car insurance. A hailstorm versus getting run the hell over by a dump truck is two different claims, but there's a playbook out there because it's happened before. And claim, guys, claim, one word, means money. Okay, that's why there's always a check behind me. Claim means one word, not healthcare, not, I'm hurt and I'm angry and blah, 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 blah. It's not that. One word. Claim means money. You've served, you have earned, you qualify for non-retired basic family for about $5,000 tax-free starting off right now. That's 100% permanent total. That's just the beginning. For you retired folks out there, even including medically retired folks, you guys qualify for $3,000 more a month. That's called CRSC, Combat-Related Special Compensation. Yes, I can help you out with all that, and voc rehab, and VA home loan stuff, and cash flow positive, and yes, because I'm not limited by anything. Okay, not limited by anything. Yes, I can help you. Yes, I love helping you guys. All right, let's get back to this. So I can tell you things like you qualify for 50% for sinuses, and you need to know what that criteria is, what that playbook is. There's, just for example, there's two main criteria. And this playbook is out there. It's everywhere. I'm not going to put stuff up in front of you guys today other than what I got right now. But I'm going to tell you this. There's two types for like sinuses. And I only go off of maximums, guys. Now, okay, let me back up that statement. Are there times, very rare times, where I don't talk about the maximum? Like GERD is a great one. There's a 60% for GERD. You qualify for 30. The normal heartburn stuff, you chew on Tums and other antacids, stuff like that. You struggle with that. You got tummy issues, stuff like that. That's a 30% moderate rating. There's very, 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 very few people out there who qualify for 60%. And out of tens of thousands of people that I've been around and briefed and so on, about 4 clients of mine have ever had that, and they qualified and they got paid for it. So I call that weigh and pay. You hear me say that a lot. How does the VA weigh things? How do they pay you? So I'll always be truthful with you, and I'll always slow down to give you clarity. So again, 50% for sinuses. Well, there's two main pathways to 50% for sinuses, just for a quick, easy example. One of them is that there is, did you have surgery for your sinuses? I happen to have had a quote corrective surgery that didn't work, and it was when I was in flight school. I obviously had problems before that, and I've obviously had problems since then. So what are the problems? Okay, the problems are, what number 2 is I call it daily booger. The VA calls it constant crusting. So if you're like me, you wake up in the morning, blow your nose, brush your teeth, blow your nose, get in the shower, blow your nose, get out, blow your nose, your day continues. I've got these babies in my pocket right now. I've got boxes around, usually pretty close within arm's reach, stuff like that, right? So daily booger. So what you're doing is you're gathering evidence, fresh, medical, valid, accurate evidence, okay? That's going to go in front of the VA at some point in time. Daily booger, 50%. So I like to qualify. I'll pull this out every now and then just to make a point. Give me a second. Somewhere. Yes. Okay. All right. We all know patches and badges and all that kind of stuff, right? Like I went to combat, but I don't have a purple star. So, purple heart, purple star, geez. Bronze star or anything like that, or silver star or anything of those natures. All right. So I was in the Army. This is a PT badge. What that means for folks out there is that in my day, it was max out 3 things, push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile run. It wasn't do 1,000 push-ups, get up, and then just you're a PT stud. It's not that. So did I always get this? No. Did I? But did I always aim for it? Yeah. So guys, and again, you don't have to be an expert at every single detail that I'm telling you, but you do have to slow down and take one page of the playbook at a time, get to know it, get familiar with it, and know what you're aiming for. So let's talk about shoulders real quick. So there's two line items. There we go. Different line items that the VA pays for. So there's specifically there's your range of motion. There we go. Range of motion. And the VA pays more for dominant shoulder than non-dominant. I'm right-handed, so I'm just depicting that in this skeletal system here. So for dominant arm, 40% for range of motion. Then there's also something called instability. Now, sometimes you have to have all things. Sometimes they have to be often. Sometimes they have to be ever. Okay, so there's all sorts of sub parts of the criteria to make sure it's accurate. So let's talk about range of motion for just a second here. So you qualify for a maximum range of motion, guys, 40% for your dominant arm, 30% for your non-dominant arm. What does range of motion mean? Well, there's words that the VA loves to throw out there, and they love to say the word day. What's your best day? What's your worst day? That's inaccurate. That is inaccurate. That is a lie. The truth is, it's what's your normal range for yourself, your body. I'm different at 20 versus 45 versus 65, right? And 85 and so on. So your range of motion is yours. So what's your normal range? So I'm pre-surgery, no surgical or anything like that. And I have my normal range of motion is what is for my dominant shoulder. But then what's your flare moment? Okay, flare moment, not good day, bad day, flare moment. So my flare one time, you guys probably done stuff like this. I took a shower, got out, took the towel, and went threw the towel up over the top. I call it a little Spanish move or a bullfighter move. And my shoulder just went, yow, and my hand went down to my thigh. What's my range of motion right now? 0. So, and that's what just needs to be verified with your non-VA doctor, validated with your lawyer, and then pushed to the VA. That's what I do. That's what I help you out with. I'm happy to help you. All right, instability. Let's talk about instability. It's one of the easiest ones to get. So instability means a lot of different things, but again, it doesn't have to be everything. It's just one thing. So crunchiness, dislocations, subluxations means it pops out and goes back in. But the big one is, and at any moment, guys, the VA can change subtle words. They do this all the time. So I call this the rotisserie of fuckery. So it's guarding. If I said, hey, somebody my age, let's go do cartwheels out in the backyard or climb a tree or whatever, you may be like, oh, ugh. And you take that second thought, that right there is guarding. That right there is guarding. That's all it is. It's guarding. Okay. All right, moving on. Elbows, hips, knees, stuff like this. There's things like flexion, extension. There's words like supination. Again, I don't want you to be an expert on all this, but I want you to be aware of this. And you guys qualify for, look at all this math. It's math. It's big math. Okay, moving on. So things like your ankles and your wrists, the maximums are 10% for your wrist. Hey, were your wrists with you the whole time in your service? Yeah, bring a note from your doctor proving that. And there you go. Same thing for your ankles. Were your ankles with you? Both of them? Yep. Okay. So bring a note from your doctor verifying, validating that your ankles were with you. And this is called strain, not sprain. Okay. ST means mileage. Was your neck with you from start of your service all the way to the end? Yes. Well, that means mileage. Okay. So it's weird, but I'm 45 now, going on 46. And I saw a Marine the other day, and I'm a short guy, but he's shorter than me. And he had a little gray hair, a little pepper in there. And I mean, to me, he looks like a baby face. But come to find out, he was retired. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. I forget how young you guys look just by being 10 years younger than me. All right. Anyway, but yeah, you guys that are retired, man, your body parts were with you the whole time. You don't have to have crazy drama and trauma of, I fell, or point of injury, or point of impact, or again, strain versus sprain. So sprain means, hey, I rolled my ankle. Okay, but wasn't your ankle with you the whole time too? Okay, that is even more powerful. Just the VA says, and according to their own daggum rules, bring a note from your doctor. So that's all I help guide you guys to. And of course, it gets verified by your doctor, verified by your VA accredited attorney when you're a client of mine, and before it gets pushed to the VA. So I'm telling you, if I don't agree with your assessment, or your attorney, or your doctor, let's agree before it goes to the VA. That's all. That's an easy rule. Because if I say, like, I'll give you an example, headaches. People get wrapped around the axle on headaches. So headaches, and the VA calls them migraines. Again, guys, it's that weird rotisserie fuckery. The VA loves using harsh words to scare you off. So headaches. Headaches is a great example because there are certain qualifiers. I am a minimum headache guy for the maximum amount, 50%. So my milder headaches are, criteria are things like, how many do you have per month? And it's like 2 or more. And I know me and my people out there, my clients out there, and your families and so on, you've got 3 or more a month. Okay, you're hitting one criteria. Does it make you less than your stellar self? Of course it does. The VA, again, uses weird words like, is it crushing you? And they use some kind of weird medical term that I'm not even going to throw out there because it's just dumb. But is it completely prostrating or some bullshit? Anyhow, so does it make you less than your stellar self? Does it impact your family life? Does it impact your work life, ability to work? Of course it does, when you're less than your stellar self. How long does the headache last? Each one. Well, I know my body. You guys know your body. So when I have a headache, the bottle says take 2. I could probably take 1 and it's going to go away. As soon as it starts creeping in, I'm like, okay, take a knee, drink water, maybe take a pill. But that's healthcare. As far as the claim goes, I can say things like, what if you don't take a pill? Your doctor can also ask you, what if you don't take a pill? Your lawyer cannot ask you, what if you don't take a pill? Them's the rules. We don't invent them, we play by them, okay? And we don't invent the rules, we play by them. So, again, you need to agree with what I'm telling you, making you aware of. Agree with it for yourself. So, talk to your doctor about it. Talk to your lawyer about it. Make sure we all agree in that order. That's usually the easiest way of getting that. Otherwise, you're like having to go back to the doctor or something like that, and update your statement or something like this. And oh shit, I didn't know I was supposed to take a pill or whatever. So yeah, I'm always going to brief you on that, guys. Always going to brief you on that. So all right, moving on to other stuff. Let's see here. Front of the skeleton here. So you got on elbows, you've got things like flexion, extension, supination. On hips, you've got flexion, you've got extension, you've even got crossing. So if you can't move, again, when you have a flare moment, not flare day, flare moment, you can't move. That's what needs to be annotated. The VA has been stingy on knees for years. I don't believe everybody gets what they should on knees, but at least getting some math is in your favor. Alrighty? All right, moving on. So some other soft stuff like belly issues. So yeah, again, GERD, heartburn. You qualify for 30% for GERD. You also qualify for a 30% for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So things like that. All right, let's get back over here. Mental health. So my clients are killers, fighter pilots, all that kind of stuff. So pilots are staying away from mental health right now. Totally fine. Because the FAA, happy to help and guide you guys on that route. I do it all the time. But yeah, you guys qualify for 100% on mental health. I'm not going to brief mental health today because it takes about an hour to brief mental health alone, because I do qualify. I weighed and paid from the government, from VA, for 100% for mental health. And it's not a gigantic list, but I walk you guys through the list and give you clarity on the list and what order to put it in and things like that. So you'll see. All right. And again, it gets verified and validated by your doctor, verified, validated by your lawyer before it gets pushed to the VA. So you'll see. All right. 30% for your neck. The VA is so aware of a secondary condition, which is called radiculopathy. It's nerve damage. So aware. Again, the VA goes off the dominant arm. Maximum rating that you guys qualify for a severe rating, is 50% for dominant and 40% non-dominant. VA is so aware. This is one of the very few times you'll hear me say the word secondary. And that means it's related. You have nerve damage related to your neck. And I'm rated at moderate ratings currently for 40% dominant, 30% non-dominant, because that was the way the VA used to do it. They would just get you on base, then you could increase it and so on. But you guys, in the path that I tell my clients to do it, is have your doctor verify and validate it at the severe level. So, yep. And guys, let me address that statement. Let your doctor know, and you tell them about mild, moderate, and severe, and you believe you've got severe level. So there you go, severe level of your nerve damage. So, and that gets verified, validated by your doctor, by your lawyer, and by the VA, and then you get paid for it. All right, so let's talk about your back. You qualify for, again, range of motion. Again, your back was with you the whole time. Yep, the whole time. Went in service at 18, got out at whatever, 80. Yep, back was with you the whole time. So that's mileage. And it gets verified, validated by your doctor. You may have x-rays and stuff like that showing some degeneration or, think of another word there, arthritis. That's fine. Just the paperwork needs a match, okay? You don't need to have some kind of weird, a lot of guys and gals come to me and they got all kinds of weird stuff. And this is just the easier stuff. All right. I get it. You guys have other stuff. You have other exposures. We'll talk about exposures and things like that. But these are just, I call it the no shit list because it's so simple. You guys all have this stuff and you guys are overlooking it because, like a guy told me the other day, don't complicate things when they're easy. It's true. We like to overcomplicate things when they're easy. So if you're making PB&J, man, just make a PB&J. God, just go make a PB&J. You know, it's that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, guys. That's what I was just saying. All right, 40% for your back. You also qualify for the severe rating of nerve damage in your legs, 40%. So let me tell you about that nerve damage, guys. In your arms, it is your upper extremities. It's going to be numbness, tingling, maybe hot, cold sensation, fuzziness, pain, all that kind of stuff. Again, this is one time where it can be one of those or two or three of those. It doesn't have to be all of them. So my hands are quite constantly numb and tingly and odd, and I'll have to like pop my neck every now and then to, I don't know, remove the pinch or whatever is going on. And that's what that is. You wake up in the middle of the night, your hand or arm is numb, tingly. I know I do. And the VA pays for it. All right, moving on. Same thing with your legs. So your legs, you qualify for this nerve damage. And it is numbness, tingling, even pain. So numbness, tingling down thighs, calves, bottom of your feet, toes probably go numb from time to time. Even in basic in the 90s, late 90s, I was, my toes were going numb due to the boots we had at the time. So didn't mean they stayed numb always or stayed numb forever, but did they go numb? Yeah. It was weird. It'd be numb for a time than what I thought. Things like that. And they still do that stuff. It's just different. Because I got different boots and shoes and stuff. So you also qualify for the pain. So pain is when your sciatic nerve fires off. And yes, there's a bunch of other nerves out there, guys. There's, humerus, whatever in hell, and there's the femoral and all that kind of stuff in sciatic. But when that sciatic nerve fires off, oh yeah, we all know what that feels like. It feels like somebody stabbed me in the ass with a pencil. So anyhow, stuff like that, again, qualifies you for 40% each leg. Look at all this math, guys. Look how simple I just walked you through that. And 100% for mental health isn't that hard either. It's just knowing what the checklist is and how to say it. And that's it. Be aware of what the words are and what the words aren't, and how to verify it for yourself and how to verify it with your civilian doc, how to verify it with me, how to verify it with your lawyer. So yeah, because the VA goes off of 3 levels of evidence, guys. And my clients are represented by lawyers who take care of the first 2. So that's legal stuff, admin. So your lawyer does all the admin stuff for you, not even with you. They don't even like screen share and say, hey, look, I'm clicking, click. They don't show you that. So I call it like an airport analogy. You're going to go to the airport, go to grandma's house in 6 months. Go ahead and buy your ticket now. Go ahead and get maybe start working on your tan or your fitness, get a new set of luggage and clothes and stuff like that may meet the time frame. But don't go to the airport now. That'd be dumb, right? Don't go to the airport a day early or a day late. That would be dumb. When you go to the checkpoints, you know the checkpoints. You know the checkpoints. You have to buy the ticket, take it with you, or have it on your phone. go to the checkpoint, walk in without any weapons on you. You know, you're gonna have to take your hat off and your jacket off and all this kind of stuff, your shoes off, some people, things like that. You know these checkpoints and you know the order of them. You know you're going to walk to the ticket counter before you go to the security. You don't go to security talk about tickets. You don't go to the ticket counter talking about security. You don't go to the bar talking about how to get on the airplane. You know, like you have to go to the right place at the right time. It's that simple. And you guys overcomplicate things so much that I always have to either kind of boost you up or pull you down and hone you in. But it works. It's super simple. So once you get a hold of it. All right. So again, what I was talking about with the airport analogy is that your lawyer does the first two, all right? And so they're actually walk you guys through the airport with some blinders on so I can show you guys. I brief my clients how to take I can show you guys stuff that way you know what checkpoints they're taking you to and that kind of thing. And that way you're valuing your lawyer's time. I can tell 10 people the same thing and all of you guys are like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Your lawyer can only talk to like one person at a time kind of thing about their specifics. So anyhow, things like that for different drivers. I'm just there to make you aware of things. Your lawyer is there to do the thing for you, not even with you at times. So you'll see. Third layer of evidence is medical. So fresh medical, fresher the better. So my clients get fresh x-rays from their doc, get fresh, I call them write-ups and reviews and x-rays and whatever the VA needs. We call it feeding the VA. We're not trying to fight the VA. We don't even, is there a fighting the VA process? Sure. But usually it's like, you know, feed the VA, fight the VA, but then there's something in the middle that works pretty well. It's where your lawyer can like lean in on something, or you can even call somebody and say, hey, as you see, I'm represented by VA accredited attorney. And are you sure about that? Sure you want to deny me for this thing? Or I'm happy to get my lawyer on the line to talk to you about this. Oh, whoops, we pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that, Mr. So veteran. Well, let me unscrew that. So people do that all the time. So feed the VA, that's what we do. Do things accurate. I'm telling you guys, that's one of the checkpoints that my clients don't see. That nobody wants to do this the wrong way. I don't want to lose my life and livelihood. Your lawyer doesn't want to lose their life or livelihood. We don't want you to lose your life or livelihood. So why would we do something that's stupid? Okay. Because I know my fighter pilot people out there are like, oh, I've been through ejection seats and all this kind of, I hear you, but that doesn't change anything. My Green Berets out there. Oh, my back is made out of titanium now. My widow's out there. My husband died. What do I do? Do I kick the VA's door down? Guys, I don't charge widows. I charge others, so I don't have to charge widows. And I'm pretty sure my Bible is the same as yours. We're supposed to take care of each other. So take care of the generation in front of us, older folks. We're supposed to take care of the people behind us. And we're supposed to stop this whole, love what God loves. That's why I love getting hugs from you guys, and hate what he hates. He hates unfair stuff. He hates widows being taken advantage of and stealing from people. And even I had an older guy say to my face that he knows, I know that my wife is going to get, and he said a weird number, like $1,600 a month or $1,200 a month or $600. It was a weird number. It's like $600 a month when he dies. And I said, how do you know that? You're not dead. You don't know that. It may be all set up, but as soon as you die, I mean, your wife may say something that's weird and she doesn't have the right help and guidance and team. And man, it could cost her and in ways that you can't even imagine. All right. I'm just saying that's how evil the VA is. So never put anything past them. And that's just why I'm here. All right, gang. It's been a good almost hour chatting about this stuff. So good stuff. See you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, you can go to my website. Let's work together. Let's do it.